How's it going, people? Jack here, and welcome back to the Chill Zone. Or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Chill Zone. So today we're going to be checking out once again the PointlessHub channel. And I'm sorry for being late with this reaction though, but I will say that the wait was worth it because we're going to be checking out one of the movies of all times featuring one of the actors of all time, Sam Worthington, an actor that kind of came and went. Beside, of course, his everlasting presence in Avatar.
How many are there?
As long as the deep sea explorer is breathing, Sam Worthington will always cash in that check. And, of course, Zoe Dana, Stephen Lang, and Sigourney Weaver, amongst the few that I remember from Avatar. No, but I'm kind of stating that he came and went because he was very, very present when this movie came out. We saw him, of course, in Avatar. He was in, was it Call of Duty? Yeah!
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
How many are there?
Clash of the Titan, of course, then Wrath of the Titan, and after that one, I think that he kind of disappeared. At least, I personally don't recall any other movies that he might have been featured in, perhaps some minor ones, but he was very present. Until like 2017, I will say, where I came back home from like a very late shift, decided to exercise that privilege of now being able to watch a myriad of movies at one's disposition, endlessly scrolling, and then bam! I got to see the face of Sam Worthington in some stupid ass movie called Titan. But Titan kinda has a plot akin to that of Avatar. Well, in terms of Sam Worthington going into outer space, being recruited for a mission to populate the moon of, oh god, Europa, Ganymede, Saturn. God, that's embarrassing. I couldn't remember the Titan was a moon of Saturn. Revoke my degree! But in that movie, he was supposed to be one of the very first individuals to terraform Titan and became like a new species of a sort, like a cross species of man. Very, very weird, but you kind of get the similitude with Avatar. But now let's have a gander at a not-so-hit movie of the 2010s. I don't remember it being like super well received, but it was fun to me. That's what counts. Anyways, without further ado, do make sure to go and subscribe to the PointlessHub channel, and let's get into this one.
Imagine if you took a time machine back to 2010.
Mr. Worldwide!
Just imagine that time. What would be two things that'd be inescapable?
Heavy rain? It's kind of funny because knowing him, he's likely going to be dropping a quote or footage of Jason and the Argonauts because he's obviously in Greek mythology here. But we have famously Jason from Heavy Rain and The Social Network. Oh god, embarrassing. He also just showed footage of B.O.B. and the song Airplane. The dude who took a, what was it, a water level on the plane so to prove that the earth was flat. Fuck. Yeah, can we go back? I want to go back to 2010. We need to save lives.
Crippling debt doesn't count.
And
I know what I'd
minds.
say, at least when it came to movies. Sam Worthington and 3D. For a good 2 years or so at the
3D.
start of that decade, 3D was everywhere. 3D was the future, they said, and nobody believed them, because they were wrong. 3D movies, 3D TV, 3DS.
Oh.
Man, Nintendo was really gaslit into that one. 3D was everywhere, and then one day, it was gone. Sam Worthington, he was everywhere. He was in Terminator. He was Alex Mason. And then one day, he was gone. 3D and Sam Worthington. Like the gods themselves, one day the people just stopped mentioning their names, and they
He was sucked back to Australia.
drifted off into the abyss. What do these two things have in common? What movie came out around this time that might have spurred the popularity of 3D and Sam Worthington? Oh, that's right. Clash of the Titans.
No. Oh fuck, how could I forget the line? Release the Kraken!
Oh boy, the
That is so wild. Oh my god, we all said that line. That was like one of the hottest memes back then. Back when we actually didn't quite grasp the meaning of memes yet. Release the Kraken! 2025, release the Epstein files.
Gods are pissed, and it's up to Jake Sully to stop them. Will we have what it takes to defeat Lord Voldemort in the name of Awa? Will the least Greek man ever to exist save the Hellenic world? Only way to find out is when you play Clash of the Titans, available now for Xbox Arcade. Speaking of which, I love video game movies.
Release the Kraken!
Oh no, not video game movies.
Of course.
Like those based on a video game. We don't talk about those. I mean video game movies. Based on a video game. We don't talk about those.
What is this? That's not Transformer, is it?
I mean video game movies. Movies that have the exact vibe of a video game.
And the physics of video
preferably
games.
from the 7th generation. You might as well be watching a cutscene for 2 hours straight. There are entire lists on Letterboxd specifically to document this phenomenon.
Aragon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2, Shoot 'em Up, Crank, yeah. Beowulf, oh my god, yes. Beowulf, that's definitely one. Stealth and Pathfinder. Oh shit, I've forgotten about that movie.
To me, this is a term of endearment. A term of a simpler time. A time when movies looked like QuickTime events, and we all went along with it. Clash of the Titans is one of my favorite examples of an Xbox 360 game movie.
They did look
it has
like
the
that.
generic white guy protagonist with the buzzed head. It has the generic white guy protagonist with the buzzed head.
Oh shit. Force Unleashed, of course, our brother Desmond Miles, and who is the protagonist of Infamous? Like there's Infamous 1 and 2 and Second Son, which I always kind of forget about. Cole? It was made by Sucker Punch, which, by the way, the movie with the cheerleading, blade-wielding hookers fighting against the huge mechanized samurai, that was Sucker Punch.
What?
Which, by the way, that sentence I just said makes complete sense within context.
A series of levels and bosses to defeat, some lovable side NPCs, a lot of mobs, and who could forget the piss filter? Praise be the piss filter. All of those qualities ended up not really helping Clash of the Titans when it came out. It got a full 27% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, and an even more damning 40% from audiences, and those people like anything. Am I saying the general audience is stupid and dumb? Yes. Yes, I am. But I am also a part of the general audience on those occasional days I choose to leave my bedroom. Sometimes I am complicit. You see, I spend most of my time reading the classics, the great myths of our age.
Horus Rising. I was there the day Horus killed the Emperor.
Hercules,
That's cap.
on VHS and Disney Blu-ray.
Honey, you mean
The Odyssey, trailer, on YouTube, and my personal favorite, The Legend of Perseus. And what better way to learn about the legend of Perseus than by going to the source of the myth, the original Clash of the Titans from 1981.
You could have memed harder and said that Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But okay, I've never seen this one. Wait. The fuck is that?
Holy Jesus.
Yeah. Is Medusa wielding a bow? What the fuck? And what is this thing?
What the fuck is
Came
that?
from the ocean.
That doesn't sound right. Clash of the Titans is technically a remake. That was news to me. Like many others, I saw this movie once, forgot about it, and then it just pops back into my head from time to time. Like all the other intrusive thoughts. A few years ago, I found out that there was an original Clash of the Titans from the 80s, and I thought, oh, okay, that information wasn't really relevant to my life until this video. So yeah, there was an original. Clash of the Titans from 1981 is just a fascinating movie to me.
Oh no. I mean, depending on how you handle it, stop motion can be good. But what the hell?
Because this does not look like it came out in 1981. This thing came out in the same year as Raiders of the Lost Ark, Escape from New York, and Going Ape.
Oh!
Going Ape?
Yeah.
When 80-year-old Max Sabatini
gets the
dies, he
inheritance.
leaves his 3 prized orangutans in the care of his only son, Foster. To inherit his father's $5 million fortune, Foster must take care of the apes for the next 5 years. What the fuck is this? Is that Danny DeVito? Clash of the Titans was a blockbuster that looked dated even for the time. There are a few things against it. Like this and Blade Runner are only a year apart. For one, sword and sandal movies hadn't been a thing since the 60s.
Yeah.
Hollywood was still rebuilding in the 70s, so big budget epics were a thing of the past. 2, well, the special effects. Before CGI, there were practical effects like puppets and animatronics and a guy in a suit. But what if the creature required something more? What if having a dumb puppet just wasn't going to do it? Introducing Ray Harryhausen.
Oh, household name. Cool ass man. But stop motion though. He worked on Jason and the Argonauts, if I'm not mistaken, too. I'm waiting for that Jason!
Ray Harryhausen is a legend of animation. Stop motion animation. Before CGI, before Jim Henson puppets, there was only one way to truly capture the uncapturable, and it was to animate it. By hand. Like Wallace and Gromit. Stop motion animation for creatures had been a thing since King Kong, but Ray Harryhausen perfected it. For a time in Hollywood, there was no ILM. There was no Weta. There was this man. Not even a team. It was literally just like this guy. This one guy. He was a master of compositing miniatures onto real footage. Even to this day, these shots are so impressive to me. Like, take Jason and the Argonauts as an example. The timing of these sword fights, the presence of this giant.
Hell yeah.
It's just all so... All these creatures have that jitter of stop motion, reminding you this is an effect. But at the same time, these are real physical props with actual lighting, not a computer model. So, in a weird sort of way, it feels more real. It's an impressive style, but it's still a dated style.
Yeah.
Like, this came out 20 years before Clash of the Titans. Can you even really tell? Imagine a movie coming out today that looked like it was from 2005. Okay, that probably isn't that crazy to imagine.
Yes, I was about to say, you've literally just reviewed it. Dad!
General critic consensus at the time was kind of just meh. Like, it was enjoyable, but it felt old.
Perfect.
Standard sword and sandals flick that had been done to death a decade earlier. But you know who it wasn't dated for? Kids. Kids never saw this shit in their life. So hey, think of this like that bad movie you really liked as a kid, but your parents thought it was tired or cliche. Now, I never watched this as a kid, I just watched this recently, and I like it. It's very dreamlike. One man's dated in 1981 becomes another man's dated, but that's what I like about it in 2025. Clash of the Titans is an adaptation of the Perseus myth, aka the guy who slayed Medusa. He also did a whole lot of other things. And frankly, if you want to even slightly understand both of these movies, I really need to explain this one. So, Greek mythology time. Crash of the Titans begins with a mother and her child being forced into a coffin and dumped into the sea.
On today's episode on how one of Zeus's bastard children gets fucked up is literally a pattern. The man, or pardon me, the god who could not keep it in his pants always ended up making it so that his children, demigod children, would have the worst childhoods.
Oh, Crash, you wacky bandicoot. You see, King Acrisius of the city Argos was foretold by the oracles that his grandson would be his undoing. So, to protect his own life, he sacrificed his daughters. Not by killing her, oh no, by locking her in a tower, or in like a cell, just anywhere away from a guy who could knock her up. And
Literally self-fulfilling prophecies. So much of Greek mythology is just like reverse psychology. Don't touch it. Person touches.
luckily for Acrisius, Zeus. In the original myth, Zeus impregnates her with a literal golden shower, but in the Clash series, I guess he just does it the old-fashioned way. Despite Acrisius trying his best to Rapunzel his daughter, she gave birth to a boy, Perseus. As punishment for all that, Acrisius, well, lost his marbles a bit. And as punishment for that, Zeus destroyed Argos and the king. Glad we're all caught up. So, despite floating in a coffin for a while, Perseus and his mom actually ended up pretty fine. They landed on an island, where Perseus grew up to become a Chad. Olympus looks like Krypton, and all the gods talk about how dumb the humans are. Zeus is angry because the son of Maggie Smith, Calibos, decided to go off and kill his entire herd of flying horses
Pegasus.
for some reason. Like, why would you do that? As punishment for being a little freak, Zeus deformed Calibos, turning him into a monster. Calibos was originally meant to marry Princess Andromeda of Joppa, and now that's not gonna happen. Andromeda is now available, but she also is kind of cursed, and nobody can marry her unless they answer a riddle. Luckily, Perseus knows the answer.
Smart.
After getting a bunch of godly goodies from his Olympian friends, Perseus goes on a quest to find the last horse of Zeus's herd, Pegasus. Before getting married, the Queen of Joppa, for some reason, brags that her daughter is more beautiful than the literal patron goddess they have a statue of.
Even more lovely than the goddess Thetis herself.
You know, you said that your daughter was more beautiful than me, so, what if she got eaten by the Kraken in a month? That would be kind of cool, let's do that. And so, the movie plot begins. Perseus has to figure out a way to defeat the Kraken and save Andromeda. On his adventure, Perseus fights some wacky mobs, fights against Medusa in a boss fight, and then uses her head to defeat the Kraken. And everyone lives happily ever after.
Oh, Medusa is one of the saddest story of all times. Like, she literally did nothing wrong. She was cursed just cause. And in the original myth, it's not even like a massive battle where, like, for example, me, when I play Dragon's Dogma 2, I will use, like, the reflection of Medusa to defeat her. Like, certain stories have told it about her. The original story, Perseus sneaks around and literally kills her in her sleep, decapitates her head. It's kind of fucked up.
I know this video is about this Clash of the Titans, but the original just had so much going on, I didn't want to sweep it under the rug. Like, Perseus's trainer in this Greek epic is the trainer from Rocky.
I could recognize the face.
Perseus, heir to the kingdom of Argus? Go away! Go back to the docks where you belong!
The star of the show here, though, isn't the special effects or the whimsical atmosphere, or even Mighty Mick himself. It's Bubo. Bubo the fucking robot owl. He's the best thing about this movie. Zeus tells Athena to send Perseus her owl, right? But she really likes her owl. Understandable. So she tells the weapon maker, Hephaestus, to send a mechanical owl instead, which is just hilarious because this wasn't even in the original myth.
No.
They invented Bubo for this movie alone.
Was it to sell merch?
And I am sure glad they did, because in the middle of the standard Sword and Sandals movie, there is this wacky animal sidekick that doesn't really do that much. He just beeps and boops. This is now the #1 Bubo fan channel. So yeah, that's Clash of the Titans. It had a middling performance at the box office, and kind of just faded away. Overtaken by all the movies that people actually remember coming out in the 80s.
Yeah.
Though, its cultural relevancy didn't entirely disappear. The original actor for Perseus, Harry Hamlin, did voice Perseus in God of War 2.
We think Harpy's fools such as yourself deserve such praise.
So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, after that, I don't really think anything else really came from Clash of the Titans.
If I may say something, him and Worthington, actually, despite the acting skills and the movies that they were put in, have pretty great voices. Damn, they sound like fucking Chads.
Not that I can think of. Okay, fine, we'll talk about the thing you came here for. Hey, it's me, Chef Bobby Bubo, here again to whip up some delicious meals, and hopefully you learn something along the way. Like how I just learned my wife is taking the kids. These things happen.
No.
We roll with the punches. Normally I would have whipped up an exquisite 3-course meal to show off to you nice people, but since she took the kitchenware in the divorce, I have nothing to show ya.
Mamma mia. What is a cook supposed to do when his wife took away the frying pan? There will be no panini. There are going to be some people who will be genuinely mad at me for doing this accent. Like, if you're going to be doing the accent, at least do it properly, stupido. I'm sorry.
Man, can't get that in Italy. I legally cannot. She got a restraining order and I can't legally enter the country. You got calorie-smart meals, gluten-free options.
Does he have
now
keto?
Asian and Mediterranean meals too. The sky is truly the limit. So why not try Facta out? Click the link in the description and use my code PointlessHubFB50 to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Facta box. You ain't gonna get a better deal anytime soon, and you ain't gonna get a meal out of me until my cousin Tony comes back from Atlantic City with my money. Give me my money, Tony. Get Facta today. I'm Italian.
I'm Italian.
I like the vibe of the original. It's very uplifting in a way, if that's the word to use. Like I said, dreamlike. Bright warm colors, fantastical set pieces, skies of the brightest Mediterranean blue.
Yeah, well, it's also because of the limitations of the cameras back then. They needed to film big set pieces like this during the day. Which of course isn't to say that there weren't movies and massive big budget movies that were not filmed in the dark. You will have, of course, the likes of Star Wars, Cruel, and Battle Beyond the Stars, I think they were called, like a slew of Star Wars-esque movies. And if a certain Frenchman had money at the time, he would have likely made that movie starring Dan DeHaan, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, because that is the movie, or at least the work, that supposedly inspired Star Wars.
The cities are perfect and clean. The layers are ominous, but vibrant. Frankly, this just looks like something AI would rip off. I love the look of those classic Sword and Shield movies.
Unfortunate.
Back when they weren't afraid to show a little color. The remake is not like that.
Trust your senses. And don't look this bitch in the eye.
Clash of the Titans 2010 is really the most early 2010s movie to ever exist.
You were born to kill the Kraken.
I don't know why I was born.
It has all the game filters, all the game mechanics. It is a video game movie.
Like every trend of the time shows up here. This world is gritty and harsh. Mexico piss filter, Russia blue filter, the actual worst attempt at 3D I've ever seen, and of course Sam Worthington. It's kind of a work of art in a whole different way than the original. Unlike the first, which could be confused for something from the 60s, there is absolutely no confusing when this movie was made, and I kind of love it for that. I mean, look, I don't love this movie. It's not a great movie by any means. It's not an unappreciated gem.
No.
What you see is really what you're gonna get. But it does have some little gems within this generally empty mine.
It's one of those era-defining movies that consolidated every single thing that a given time period had. And that's good, I guess.
The first of which is Sam Worthington himself. Yeah, that's right, I said it. He's a gem. You thought I was gonna make fun of him, but I won't. We are Sam Worthington appreciators around these parts. But still, you can't help but ask the question, why was Sam Worthington everywhere for like a year? What could possibly be the reason? It was Avatar. Like, obviously. Within the span of 2009 to 2010, old Sammy was in 3 major films, all of which were really because of James Cameron. So here's the story. Matt Damon was supposed to be Jake Sully. That's who Cameron wanted originally, but Damon was busy being all Bourne Ultimatum.
Until Raina came over.
Open auditions happened.
Oh, the burning!
Sam Worthington was literally living in his car when he auditioned. His somewhat pissed off attitude was what made Cameron immediately love him. This guy is the perfect jarhead. Kind of like Jake Sully himself. He wasn't the actual first pick, but hey, it worked out. Then everything really just came from that one audition. Before Avatar even came out, Sam was in Terminator Salvation. As a Terminator, who didn't want to be a Terminator? He just wanted to be a guy. I wonder how he possibly got that role. Then Avatar came out where he played a guy who didn't want to be a blue alien, he wanted to be a guy. Until, you know, he banged an alien.
Like, seriously, must be nice to be hired basically only on the premise of you being part of the highest grossing movie at that time.
Then he was in Clash of the Titans, where he played a guy who didn't want to be a half god, he just wanted to be a guy. Oh yeah, he was in Clash because everyone knew he was going to be an Avatar. That movie was huge before it even came out. Even being casted in that was a big deal. I remember this time vividly. Suddenly out of nowhere, this guy's face was plastered everywhere. What the hell was going on? Was this a psyop? No, it wasn't some big conspiracy. This guy just got a lot of gigs because of one audition with Jimmy Cameron. Good for him.
Hey.
You know, went...
Cameron mentioned. We can end the video here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There's no much more to say. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
From homelessness to being Alex Mason blasting JFK in the face. The reason I bring up his casting before, like, the plot or art direction is because really this whole movie can be summarized by just having Sam Worthington. Buzzed hair, no facial hair, generic badass gruff-speaking dummy.
Interesting.
It's beautiful. Sam Worthington does not fit into this world at all.
No.
This is not a man who existed before the invention of the M16. Seeing him in a full sword and sandals just makes me laugh. It's not necessarily a bad thing, I get it. This was a purposeful, creative decision by the film. As you see, Clash of the Titans is not meant to be a whimsical adventure like the original. This is meant to be a hardcore, badass action flick, in the only way a movie from 2010 knew how. This is a Perseus who isn't just simply a hero. This is a Perseus with a vendetta.
One that in fact says fuck all the time. Despite the fact that he actually doesn't curse that much in the movie, it's not to the degree where there's a guy that shows up and goes like, "What's your profanities?"
One who curses the gods for what they did. He won't even pray to Zeus.
Pray to your damn father. No.
He confronts those mythological beasts head on with that scream. You know the scream. And I don't know if it's just nostalgia at this point, but Perseus does indeed sound cool.
My father was killed by a god.
I cannot deny that I like this grizzled, tough guy in a world of gods and monsters. Clashing of Titans. Cool. Wait a second. Why is this called Clash of the Titans? Literally no Titans clash in these movies.
Yeah.
Original or remake. The word Titan in our modern language is just synonymous for big. Like, wow, that thing is titanic. Wow, I'm being devoured by the ancient snake Titan boa. Wow, the Titans suck again. Clash of the Titans works as a name in that metaphorical sense, like 99% of the time. Big things are clashing. It's a good name for your movie. It is not a good name for your movie when the subject matter is Greek mythology,
Titans.
and there aren't actually Titans. This is the one area where the name Titan is not a metaphor, it is a literal mythological thing.
Yeah.
The Titans, the gods before the Olympians, like Kronos who devoured Zeus before he burst from his belly like a xenomorph.
Who slit his...
You mean, huh?
He castrated his dad to create the giants? Isn't that what he did? Kronos.
Are not in this movie. Medusa isn't a Titan. The original calls the Kraken a Titan.
I command you to let loose the last of the Titans.
Wait, are they confusing it with the husband of Knuckle? Okay, I know that some people are not going to get that one. Echidna, right? That's what Knuckles is. was also like a titan in Greek mythology and was the mate of Typhon, he who shall not be named. A beast that I could say, beside the lack of wings here, has a striking resemblance to the Kraken in question.
But the Kraken isn't even a titan. It's just a sea monster.
Yeah.
Like, don't even try that movie. We all know you just wanted a name that sounded vaguely mythological and also cool, so you just worked backwards from there. Look, you gave me Bubo, so I'll forgive you for trying to pull one over on me. And also, I get it. Clash of the Titans is for sure better than something like The Legend of Perseus, or Perseus versus the Kraken, or Perseus Unleashed. And then since there's a remake, I mean, it's not that movie's fault why it's named what it is. You know, if I was in charge, I would have given this movie a far more accurate name. Something like, oh no, Zeus fucked up again.
Gods of Greece. That would make just as much sense as anything else here, because, yeah, that movie... What about Gods of Greece? I think that would make sense, just like the Gods of Egypt movie. That one is special as well.
In the original, the gods were kind of just overlooking their little sim world, with humans being these playthings they'd mess with. So pretty accurate to Greek mythology. Zeus is juggling a bunch of angry family members. The gods really don't have a stake in this story. They'd be disappointed if their preferred people lost, of course. They supply Perseus with loot to make his life easier, but if he loses, it'd take out a sizable portion of Zeus's miniature collection, yet it's not the end of the world. The Kraken's like the Raincore. She's like the green chick. It's how it goes. This happens a lot. I like how these gods are. It's accurate. They fight, they're petty, they have preferred people or cities, and they go against each other. In the remake, it's just Zeus and Hades. I mean, sure, there's other gods present, kind of. Like, hey, it's Poseidon.
Hey, is Luke stiff? Is Luke Evans... Isn't he also in that other one with Henry Cavill? Ain't no way. No, it is him! In Immortals! Holy shit! He played Zeus in Immortals! That's 2011, that's a year after this one. What the hell? That's where Mickey Rourke is playing Hyperion. What a small world.
But the only ones who actually matter here are these two. They have entire conversations, and everyone else stands around. There are no petty squabbles here. Oh no, this is the real deal.
Why do you always jump?
This is a big action movie, so the whole fate of Olympus has to be at stake. If Perseus doesn't turn the squid into a rock, then Zeus will explode. In this world, people just straight up hate the gods. The movie practically begins with toppling a statue of Zeus like he was Saddam Hussein.
I mean, in a way, kind of makes sense.
Fuck Zeus. Then some bat demons absolutely wreck them. In the original, the city of Argos was cursed because Thetis got mad. They said she wasn't super pretty. Yet in the remake, there is no Thetis. So the writers need another reason for the city to be on Olympus's shit list. Huh. Hey, what if the city straight up declares war on the gods? Perfect, let's go with that. A running theme with this remake is that everything is heightened for the drama. The Queen of Argos doesn't just put a goddess in a bad mood. Oh no. The king and queen need to celebrate as they desecrate their idols and go all, we're the gods now.
Our heroes who have dared to strike a blow at the heart of Zeus.
Man, I wouldn't necessarily classify Neil deGrasse Tyson as an anti-theist, but go on.
Zeus is dead, and I killed him. A few thoughts. First off, why are they stupid? From everything I gather from this scene, it's not like humans stopped believing in the gods. Like one day they found the idea of this to be silly. Oh no, they know the gods are real. They just absolutely hate them.
The sun does not set over the ocean. It sets on Olympus itself.
This destruction of a statue was meant to be a Pearl Harbor for the Olympians. Humans are the real gods now, you know, until an actual god shows up and kills everybody. What was your guys' plan here? How did you think this was going to end? That's not even the insane part. The insane part is that this wasn't even the first time this happened.
Yes.
This must be a consistent thing, because
that's what I was thinking about.
1 generation ago, another king, King Acrisius, you know, the one
guy
who did the whole
thing
daughter
his...
coffin thing, laid siege to Mount Olympus itself.
Although his crash out was justified, and not the murdering of the daughter part, okay? Not this one. It's because, if I'm not mistaken, they retconned this in the movie and made it so that Zeus actually laid pipe on his wife. Laid pipe is one of my favorite expressions to use.
This guy knew heaven was real, and he wanted to sack it.
Fuck you,
so,
God!
In the original myth, Zeus impregnates King Acrisius' daughter, right? He's like a ray of light that shines on her. In the original movie, Zeus just thought Acrisius' daughter was hot, and she knew he was Zeus, so they banged. In the remake, Zeus doesn't bang Acrisius' daughter. He bangs Acrisius' wife. As the ultimate f*** you.
To be fair, that is the Zeus I know. I mean, Alcmene, Heracles' mom, or Hercules, was literally treated the same way. Zeus disguised himself as her husband, the sweet old lady from the Hercules movie from Disney who decided to turn Hercules into fucking Goku by dropping him just there. Well, I know they were trying to kidnap him, but like they gave him a mixture of the origin story of Goku or Superman, right? When in reality it was Zeus who couldn't keep it in his pants and decided to disguise himself as the lady's husband and banged her.
While the siege was still going on, Zeus turned into a bald eagle and flew to Acrisius' wife. While in their bedroom, he disguised himself as Acrisius, and they, well, you know. Then once the real Acrisius showed up, he transformed back into Liam Neeson, saw this woman scream in horror, smiled, and flew out the window.
Bitch, you thought
in the remake, the only reason Zeus was able to have sex with this woman was because she thought that he was her husband.
That's assault.
I'm pretty sure that's a sex crime. That's how Perseus was conceived. Zeus in this world is a little trickster. I get dooming your violated wife and her bastard godchild to the depths of the ocean is probably not the coolest move. Acrisius wasn't the best guy at all. But also, what does that say about Zeus that two entirely unrelated kingdoms both hate him? Even the normal foot soldier is excited to destroy his statue. The only explanation I have here is that he has just been making everyone's lives actively worse through his own incompetence, blatantly and loudly, like me in City Skylines.
It's the hormones. Zeus got around that age where things weren't functioning correctly, so he hopped on that TRT and it made him go crazy.
Olympus's approval ratings are in the toilet, and in the remake, that's a big deal, because the gods need the power of prayer to stay alive. Praying to a god fuels them, and if you stop praying, they have nothing. It's Coco logic. If people forget you, you fade away.
American
Zeus is
gods.
losing his audience and the algorithm turned against him. He needs new ideas. Luckily, Hades, his entirely trustful brother who doesn't look suspicious at all, has a wonderful plan. Yeah. Just kill them all. Kill everyone. Then they'll start praying to you again. That's a good idea, Hades. But, aren't you fueled by fear? A thing you told me in the actual scene of this movie? Won't you just get stronger as I actively kill my followers? Yes.
Minor details.
Yes, I will. So, not the biggest shock, but Zeus is an idiot. He trusts Hades to scare humans back into submission, which obviously was never Hades' real intention at all. Just look at him. Zeus even knows this actively helps Hades, and he still goes along with it.
Like children, they need to be reminded of the order of things.
Like you're the head honcho. You should know your own lore. In a stunning twist, at the end of the movie, Zeus gets betrayed, and the very fate of Olympus is now at stake. It's like Hercules, except not nearly as good. I'd mention the other gods, but like I said before, they do literally nothing. Like the Kraken, the sea monster, is controlled by Hades. Why the fuck is the beast from 20,000 Fathoms owned by Hades? The ocean is Poseidon's one thing. That's all he's got, and they took that away. He has absolutely nothing to do.
It is true. Poseidon gets absolutely disrespected at every single occasion. Remember his conversation with Kratos? Like, I know, completely different universes here, but it goes like, Kratos, the death of Olympus means the destruction of the whole world. Kratos goes like, prepare for your own death.
Poseidon. Zeus, our brother speaks the truth. Hear him.
I know I keep saying in the original a lot, but once again, in the original, the Kraken was more of a force of nature to overcome. It could be defeated with Medusa's head, but even that was a long shot. Perseus was kind of just doing the impossible to try to save the girl he loved. Now, the Kraken is Hades' key to power. His oh wait, if the Kraken is defeated, then so is Hades. And Perseus just really wants to kill Hades in this. It's probably because Hades just decided to kill his adopted family for no reason.
Yeah.
Their ship wasn't even involved in all the blasphemy. They were just passing by. Hades felt like being a little silly. After being saved and showing up at the Redditor party, Perseus once again comes face to face with Hades, who once again takes another god's spot in the story. There is no Thetis here, so Hades just shows up, turns into a black hole, and juices the queen. He's even the one who dooms Andromeda to meet her fate with the Kraken. His Kraken.
That's nice.
Oh man, Andromeda. In the original, Andromeda was the love interest. Perseus did everything to save her. Someone who chooses to join him on the adventure. In the remake, she barely exists. She's only in like 3 scenes.
No one should have to die for me.
She doesn't even go on the adventure. She stays back getting yelled at by a Portland hippie. She's not even Perseus's love interest anymore. That's some other girl named Io.
Yeah.
Basically the distant narrator girl who makes things sound all mythological.
Stories of time before man and gods.
Oh, no.
She's the one who joins the gang, leaving Andromeda, just like Poseidon, with absolutely nothing to do. The original did this dynamic competently enough, so you could actually feel the stakes when Perseus went to save Andromeda from the Kraken. In the remake, the new girl just dies randomly. The movie plays out exactly like the original, with Perseus flying back to stop the Kraken and save this random princess, and then, as thanks for saving his ass, Zeus rewards Perseus by bringing Io back to life. It's just so messy now. Whether Andromeda gets saved or not has no weight to the story, because not even Perseus really cares. This is all just background noise in his revenge quest to kill Hades. Her biggest contribution to the story was giving the Kraken a focal point to look at. Now, there's nothing wrong with changing the love interests or trying to make the plot more dramatic. Perseus's goals here are far more world-changing after all. I will give the remake this, it is more dramatic. Really, my biggest problem here is that Zeus just looks like a dumbass now. So Zeus trusted Hades, and now the world is going to end, right? Hades is getting stronger because everyone is afraid. It's like something out of Green Lantern. Perseus wins, kills the Kraken, boots Hades back to Mobile, Alabama, and all is good with the world. Zeus even shows up to congratulate Perseus at the end of the movie. Ah, my boy,
by the way,
you did
I'm
such
your
a
dad.
swell job. He's all like, man, that sure was a close one. But you know, I knew you could do it, Perseus. Defeating that bad old Hades. Like, you started this. For 80% of this plot, you were the antagonist.
Like children, they need to be reminded of the order of things.
You released the Kraken because you forgot how the power system worked. You trusted the guy who obviously hates you, and when all is said and done, Zeus just acts like he had nothing to do with it.
It was that early onset dementia on the part of Liam Neeson.
Like, Zeus, you are technically the reason this guy's parents are dead. He doesn't give a shit. He's just playing both sides. What a goof. I forgot to record this part, and then I got sick, so just deal with it. Travis Beacham, one of this movie's many writers, said in a quote I read on Wikipedia because I'm a hack, that he wanted this movie to be darker and more realistic than the original, which is something I just find so fascinating. I love the use of the word realistic. Like any of this is realistic. I get what he means, though, because he's using realistic in the way that a lot of people in the 2010s used realistic. Gritty, dirty, rough. Not like those cheesy, bright, colorful movies of the past. Oh no, it's not like the Mediterranean was ever vibrant at all.
I know.
I won't hold that against Beacham.
Oh god. Also, which is a sad state of movies, the sad description of ancient Greece with no colors in either statues or building, making them stale and white. And I know somebody's already questioning themselves, what do you mean by that? Yeah, well, all the marbles and temples even, they had colors, okay? The statues were colorful, they were bright. I'm pretty freaking certain that it's Hollywood that made that kind of stale, weird, sanitized look to them and perpetuated that for many years to come.
This was just the mentality for the time, and for some time after, and also sometime now. When it comes to ancient Greece, a lot of the realistic stuff just looks outright fake. Or stupid. This isn't what people think of when they think of Greek warfare. This is.
Yeah.
Look at that armor straight out of Nolan's Odyssey. Everything is sleek and edgy. Hell, even the fucking horse is edgy. That classic white Pegasus, that's lame. This is 2010. We need to introduce the slick new black Pegasus that flies in dramatically, scaring the hoes. Speaking of dark and gritty fantasy, Game of Thrones. What the hell does Game of Thrones have to do with this movie?
Yeah.
Surprisingly a lot. For one, the score was done by Ramid Javadi. Yes, the guy who basically made the show half as good as it was. This score isn't nearly as iconic as any in Game of Thrones, but there is a hint of it coming through. There's just some aspects that remind me of it. It also might be the fact that Davos is here too.
I don't care. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a cast, actually. Plus, with Mads Mikkelsen, who later on will go on to make that Viking movie. Shit. They actually had a solid cast that they could have done something actually dark and gritty with, if they wanted to. But alas, there were some trends that needed to be chased.
Davos, Liam Cunningham. He's one of the main members of Perseus's little gang, alongside Lex Luthor.
What?
Hannibal. And, wait, is that the Hound? Yeah, the Hound
It's
is here
literally
too. He only
holy
says
shit.
one line. Then he dies. Man, it's funny, just everyone was in this movie. Maybe it's because they were planning on this being a franchise. Wonder why they never went ahead with that. Oh no.
The Pacific Rim too. This is the uprising version of a movie that already wasn't that good. Oh shit, I saw the title, I was like, oh, is he going to talk about Wrath of the Titans? But yeah, here we go.
Yes, there was a sequel. No, it is not good. Clash of the Titans isn't anything incredible, right? But it was a decent PG-13 action flick. It had a certain tone that was dark and gritty, and I really liked that. It felt like a unique-ish twist on the original, trying to do its own thing. The sequel has none of these qualities.
Navigator!
Still no.
Wrath of the Titans is a genuinely baffling next entry in this potential franchise, because it just doesn't feel like a next entry at all. It's so jarring going between Clash and Wrath. Immediately, things just feel off.
In ancient times,
it's pretty obvious the creative forces behind the original are no longer here. They're gone. Like what happened with Pacific Rim 1 and 2. Clash is not nearly as good as Pacific Rim, yet I feel like both movies had some grounded aspect to them despite their setting being anything but. There was a real sense of danger, the monsters were a threat, and named characters died at a moment's notice. Then the sequels just threw that all away.
It had to be
the
fun.
action is floaty and cartoonish now. The tone is lighthearted to appeal to a more general audience. Gotta have those jokey jokes. Wrath of the Titans is just PG-13 Percy Jackson. They took a gritty action flick and turned it into a stupid fetch quest adventure to save Zeus from getting milked. First off, directing. Clash was directed by Louis Leterrier, who was also a major influence on the script. He directed the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk, Transporter, and the later Fast and Furious movies.
That explains some stuff.
Wrath was directed by Jonathan Liebsman, director of Battle Los Angeles and that TMNT movie. Take of that as you will. While directing is important, and I'd say that the sequel overall feels cheesier, Wrath's biggest issue is really just the writing. I didn't just throw out that Pacific Rim comparison willy-nilly. Oh no, if there's one thing these two sequels share in common, it's suffering from the absence of Travis Beacham. Travis Beacham wrote both Pacific Rim 1 and Clash of the Titans.
What?
While also not writing the sequels at all. Some other guys did. Like Dan Mazzou, whose only writing credit is Fast X, Damsel, and this movie. 3 movies written by Variety's 10 screenwriters to watch in 2008.
We are in this together, Hades! Your weakness is your blind hatred for your father.
This movie was doomed from the start. Doom is a good word to use here, because despite Doom being the main theme of the movie, the tone does not reflect that at all.
Few gold coins, you're so scrawny.
Oh, let me see, what else have I dreamt of as I lay here in my...
And it's so sad because you can't do this. I've actually quite enjoyed the Netflix show Blood of Zeus, which actually pulls a lot of from the different myths, because Heron, who's the main character in that, is not a real Wow, I almost dropped the word historical there by mistake. Mythological character within the Greek pantheon. But it does borrow a lot of elements, and it manages to have some genuine good laughs here and there. But it's also greedy. It depicts that kind of quippy and petty squabble that the gods have against one another with their offsprings and many generations to come. Kronos is a dick. Zeus is kind of a dick. So everything is there. It is possible to do something like this. But again, as he says, the writing just wasn't there.
Don't push it.
The world is literally going to end. Kronos is gonna wake up and kill everybody. Olympus has literally fallen. And yet the tone is somehow more lighthearted than the first. Nothing here even feels connected to the first. Wrath feels like a reboot for a movie that only came out 2 years earlier. They recasted Andromeda. Why is she blonde? Why is Perseus Australian?
There's more to life than gods and titans.
The remake had it pretty easy, as they already had an older movie to use as a template. Wrath did not have that luck. This is an 100% original story. Oh no. Okay, so it has been more than a decade since the events of Clash, and the world is still suffering. At the end of Clash, Zeus thanked Perseus for saving his ass and flew away like everything was hunky-dory. Like, yeah, Zeus made some mistakes, but everything's going to end up okay. Things did not end up okay. Zeus declaring war on humanity, even for like 5 minutes, backfired on him horrendously. Everyone is now atheists who hate the gods. Like, they believe the gods are real, but they despise them so much now, because of all the war crimes, that everyone simply stopped praying to Olympus. So
I mean, reasonable.
By the time of the second movie, most of the gods have just withered away and died.
It's a place where people come to worship the gods. Or at least they used to come.
Holy shit, man, how the fuck did you fumble this? While it just felt like Zeus and Hades were the only gods in Clash of the Titans, now they literally are. Well, at least Poseidon is here too. Never mind. The last remaining god, other than Frank Drebin Jr. and Mr. Menu, is the god of war.
Hey, the menu's good.
Oh, it actually is the god of war? Okay. One thing I liked about the original Clash is that they had a lot of gods that weren't even popular. Like, who the hell is Thetis? It's like the remakes are afraid of having a big pantheon, so the gods are just like 3 guys. If I was writing this, I would have whipped out some Z-listers, would have brought in Hecate, the goddess of ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, Perseus' wife is dead. Yeah, so at the end of Clash, Zeus brought Io, the exposition girl, back to life, right? As a reward for Perseus Windows-Zing his mistakes away. Well, now she's dead. It's so funny watching these back-to-back, because one movie ends with Perseus and his new wife all happy and shit, and the second begins with her just dead, off-screen. At least she died in a different movie, and not, like, in the end credits of her own movie. So that's good. Maybe the actress just didn't want to return, or maybe they needed a reason for Perseus to not be tied down. Who knows? He has to have that flirty banter with Queen Andromeda. Wait a second. That's not Andromeda.
No.
You've obviously been in your own battles, Perseus.
In Clash, Andromeda was a brunette who was pretty passive. Like, really passive. Even more passive than the one from the 80s. She did nothing except almost get
just
eaten by a giant squid. And, for some reason, they brought her back in the sequel, at least in name only, because Andromeda is just an entirely different character.
3 lines of defense. Agenor's men will hold the front line from the trenches.
She's blonde now, which, granted, is closer to the original. Why wasn't she just blonde in the first place? I don't know. But the most baffling change is she's now a battle queen. Like Xenon, warrior princess. She's bold and quippy and leads men into battle. And she's willing to get into danger, and she can like hold her own against Perseus. It's actually insane how much of a change this is. It's one of the things that makes me wonder if this was just meant to be a soft reboot. Because how can the movie actually expect the audience to just accept that these are the same people? These came out only 2 years apart. I cannot imagine this Andromeda almost getting sacrificed by a smelly hippie. Why didn't they just make her a new character? Just have her be some queen from another city. It's Greece. There's a lot of them. Andromeda's rewrite is really symbolic of all of Wrath's problems. The new writers or creatives involved just wanted to course correct the tone of the series. So now we have a warrior queen and some loser comic relief joining Perseus on his adventure. How fun! Hades and Ares have teamed up to free Kronos, the actual Titan himself, who was chained by the Olympians before humanity began. If Kronos is freed, he will destroy humanity. But if they're the ones who freed Kronos, then maybe he'll let them live. Yeah, this guy really seems like the negotiating type.
Right.
Zeus gets betrayed by Hades, again. Gets kidnapped, and really does nothing the whole movie except get his power sucked. So it's up to Perseus to go save his father. Yeah, father. In Clash, Perseus spent his whole life as a fisherman. His family wasn't like his adopted family, they were straight up his real family. His father, Spyros, raised him from a baby to a grown-ass man. The death of his father was so hard on him, Perseus actively rejected the gods to their faces. He didn't want to pray even when his life was in danger. In Wrath, they just straight up forget that part of his character, so now he treats Zeus like his real dad. Perseus often and loudly proclaims that Zeus is his father, and Zeus proclaims that Perseus is his son.
Father! Father!
Clash ended with them just leaving on neutral terms, but now they're some real buddies. You might even be mistaken to think Zeus raised him. Who knows, maybe after a decade or so, Perseus has lightened up on Zeus. I don't know why he would really do that, considering that Zeus is technically responsible for his adopted father's death. You know, the guy he considered his real dad, but it seems like Perseus just forgot those people existed now. Despite his actions really causing all of this, Zeus is shown in an entirely sympathetic light.
Yeah,
Perseus has not one bad thing to say about him, and neither does the movie, which is really funny when considering that this version of Zeus is kind of the most fucked up of all. He banged the wife of a king who was attacking Olympus as revenge, disguised as that king, to the horror of the wife he just banged. Banged really isn't the most accurate term, but the word I really want to use is something that YouTube wouldn't allow. I think you can guess what it is. After all of that, this poor woman was then doomed to die in a coffin. And she didn't even die in the original myth and movie.
No, she was almost tortured to death.
The remake specifically did. Yet this version of Zeus is the one we're supposed to most sympathize with. Perseus is basically friends with the man who is responsible for the death of his adopted family and his real mother, and he's the last one to see Zeus off when he dies. That's right, Zeus dies. He declared war on humanity, let his brother war crime entire cities, let himself get betrayed by that brother not once, but twice, allowed Kronos to reawaken, and then died using the last of his thunder juice. Rest in peace. It's like everyone had amnesia and forgot about the first movie. Zeus has always been nice, Andromeda has always been blonde, and Perseus has always had an Australian accent.
You're the great god Zeus, you don't need my help. Make me proud. Where's my father?
Nobody gave a shit
great
here.
man.
Not even Sam Worthington. Did you know he's actually Australian? I didn't until I got flashbanged by that accent at the start of the movie. For half of Wrath, he just speaks with his Aussie accent.
But no matter what we're about to face, you do not pray to Ares.
Before, I guess, remembering what he sounded like in Clash and going back to that. Somehow nobody noticed for most of the shoot, but it was too late then. Most of Wrath is just a fetch quest. Go fetch a weapon, go fetch a Zeus. The only interesting part of this entire movie is this two-headed monster guy. He's pretty cool. I like him.
I remember him from the promotional material. That was actually the thing that got me to watch the movie.
His design. I also like that they brought back Bubo. It's Bubo, everyone. He's just there, whispering to Bill Nighy. I do appreciate the little Bubo references the remakes have. Did anybody even get these? I don't think many people watched the original, so did anyone care about the Bubo Easter egg? It was very bold of them to have an extensive joke scene with Bubo that went on for like 5 minutes, as if anyone except for me would even know who the fuck this owl is, or what the joke even was. What I would give to travel back in time and clap loudly in the theater when Bubo, my favorite glup shitto, appeared on screen. I wonder what anyone's reaction would be. Well, nobody would probably have a reaction because nobody saw this thing in theaters. So, Wrath failed. Or, well, underperformed. Clash was originally meant to be this massive franchise, which is why they were able to get so many heavy hitters. But
imagine what Slop used to look like. Today's Slop. Oh my god. Much like Zeus in that fictional world, we have tech bros who have doomed humanity.
But when the original box office just didn't justify that, the sequel was the final nail in the coffin. Pun not intended. I have to say, I'm very curious where the hell they were even planning to go with the third movie. Because Wrath very much feels like a final chapter instead of a middle one. This is like a Last Jedi situation. The big bad, arguably the biggest bad, Kronos, is dead. Zeus is dead. Ares is dead. Hades is just like a guy now. They do a whole passing of the torch between Perseus and his son. It's implied with the gods being dead, it's now the dawn of humanity. But like, is religion just over now?
Oh no. Them atheists can go and destroy all the pantheons.
The Reddit atheists win? Who knows? I don't know how they could have even done a third movie. Like, where would you even go from here? Scandinavia?
Maybe. Ew, no. Shitty AI Kratos. One positive thing though with The Rock is that he is finally entering his artsy phase, which is nice. He also decided to hop off the juice, which is also nice. Now I wonder if there are any connection to this movie and Gods of Egypt. Now, Gods of Egypt did release in 2021, and beside, of course, the whimsy Greek connection of perhaps having Gerard Butler, who played in 300, starring there as, who was he? Anubis? Was it Anubis or Set? I think it was Set. And also Nikolai Coster-Waldau, another great Danish actor, playing Horus. Yeah, no, I don't think there is. Perhaps somebody in the script was like, "Hey, we gotta make this." Man, the fact that this movie actually did gross that much money is genuinely good, I'll say. Like, again, I think that there is a place for kind of like mid movies, like where there is an attempt. Whether or not they succeed is fine. To just give people an experience to something that they can think about, that is not just necessarily classified as the word I kind of misused before. But man, being the only time, to my knowledge, that Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes starring in the same movie besides Schindler's List. So fucking stupid. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for checking out this video. As always, please do make sure to go and subscribe to the PointlessHub channel. And of course, if you like this reaction, hit the like and or subscribe button to see more. Wish you all to have a wonderful day and see you guys in the next one. Bye.